What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Financial Seeds Podcast, where we believe that financial freedom is built one conversation at a time. I'm your host, JimDre Westbrook, and every week we are here to empower families to go from striving to thriving by having smart, practical money talks. Today's episode, we are going to talk about side hustles for teens. We really want to introduce or just name some side hustles for you so you can get in the game and start making money for you. Today's episode, I'm not driving this thing alone. I have my co-host, Bree, and welcome back to the pod.
Thank you. It's good to be back, JimDre. I'm excited about this one too, side hustles. It's really when young people start to discover their talents or their gifts and making their own money. It's going to be a good one.
Yes, and when it comes to side hustles, you may be somebody out there where you don't even know what that word means. You've never heard that word. So we are here to kind of break it down, give you that definition, and give you some examples on how teens can start making money for themselves for non-traditional jobs, right? We really want to empower them, to encourage them, to inspire them to start working, getting in the game, and having side hustles work for them. So let me ask you this. Let's start here, Bree. When it comes to side hustles, we really want to let the guests out there understand that they matter, right? So when we start with the why you should do a side hustle, and that again is kind of like a side job. We're not talking about working at a fast food restaurant or, working in a traditional, hey, even at a Silver State Schools credit union.
Right.
We're looking at things where you may, if you are a sneakerhead, where you are reselling shoes. We've talked about shoes on this podcast. Maybe you're a social media influencer, right? So you are big into dance and maybe you do things on TikTok and Instagram. Like those are examples of side hustles. So when we start with that why, a side hustle for teens, it really just isn't about pocket money, right? It just isn't about the dollars. We believe that side hustles, they teach responsibility. So when it comes to responsibility, we're talking about meeting deadlines. We're talking about showing up for your clients and customers
Right.
because if you don't do that, you're not going to make
Exactly.
any money. Creativity. Creativity is another big thing when it comes to side hustles where you can find some solutions and opportunities where you may be the only, team, so to speak, who plays that sport. You may be the only, person that is selling that service or providing that service or good. So it allows you to be very creative when it comes to side hustles.
Yeah, and especially now in our digital world, right?
Yeah.
I think teens these days, in a way, have a lot more opportunities than maybe we did just
Yep.
because they can use all these different social media platforms and spread their ideas that way.
Yes. Lastly, money skills. I figure when we talk about money skills, this is kind of just learning how to budget, how to save, and even how to reinvest. So, to that technology point that you were talking about, there are just so many things that they can learn instead of just making money and just, doing what they want to do with it. There's some really valuable things that side hustles teach, and we really want the students out there to understand that about side hustles. So I have a question for you. We're talking about side hustles. Did you have a side hustle back in the day? If you did, what was it? And two part, if you were a teen today, what type of side hustle would you do currently?
Ooh, that's a good one. Side hustles. Yeah, well, I did babysitting. I definitely did that. Pet sitting, house sitting. Um, and then I guess a little bit of a unique one was so I went to a magnet school for the arts. I was in the dance program, and I used to teach dance. My mom would kind of sort of like force me to teach all of her friends how to dance like salsa and cumbia. And sometimes I would get paid for that. Sometimes I wouldn't. But that was kind of a side gig. I think if I were to do something now, I would probably use some of the tech that we were talking about to do something with my voice. I've always kind of wanted to do like voiceover stuff.
Yes, yes.
So I think that would be really cool. How about you? Did you ever have any side hustles?
Growing up, the only side hustle that I can remember, I think I tried selling candy for a minute.
Yeah.
I know back in the day, in middle school was very popular for people to, maybe go to Sam's Club and buy
Yeah,
candy in
yeah.
bulk and essentially take out the vending machine and, have better pricing. I think I attempted that in selling cookies. Selling cookies. That's
Okay.
something that
Like
I
homemade cookies?
yeah, like homemade cookies. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Homemade cookies. There's a homemade recipe that my family has, essentially chewy ginger molasses cookies.
Oh, that
Uh,
sounds really
I
good.
call them chewy ginger snaps. They are pretty good,
Mm-hmm.
pretty tasty. I remember also in middle school that I think I sold a few of them, but it wasn't until I became an adult where I did, for a few years, sell that as a side hustle.
Okay.
And they were really good. They were really good. I shipped them all over the U.S.
Wow. Okay. Well,
Th-
you'll have to bring those in
yeah,
someday.
I'll
Have
bring
to do a test
yeah,
on
I'll
those.
bring them in, but I'll
Yeah.
let you guys know right now, they are not better than my wife's chocolate chip cookies
Those I've tried.
that
They are amazing. Yeah.
may be kind of famous here,
Yes, they are.
around here in HQ, and I think some of the branches as well. But yeah, selling cookies, I would say, and then I would also, if I was a sneakerhead and bought more shoes, I'd probably flip shoes
Mm-hmm.
and resell them. That seems to be a thing. I know the market has changed a little bit, but people are always buying and selling shoes, so I probably would at least attempt that if I was a teen
Yeah.
today.
Okay. Cool.
So when it comes to us talking about these side hustles, talk to me about why you think it would be powerful for a teen who may have aspirations of being a businessman, a businesswoman. What are some of those lessons that would make that teen that would be beneficial for that teen?
So let me answer this with actually an article that I was reading earlier. It was really cool. I was reading about two Boston teens that started a side hustle as a junk removal service. And so they had actually kind of got the idea from their parents who do, I think it was tree removal. And so they started it with their friends, and it has turned into a booming business. So it is like their full time job now. And they are making great money. And they actually now employ like 20 other teens. And they have five trucks, and they have a warehouse where they store all the things that they pick up. And I think that they like try to repurpose and resell and donate a lot of the items too. So, just like from that little story, I think it says a lot. Like, you can kind of find something that you have a passion for that you're really interested in. And especially now with the digital world, you can just kind of like expand it. You can learn how to market. You can learn like who is your consumer base, who wants your product, and it's just like an incredible lesson on a lot of things. Financial literacy, independence, that kind of thing. And yeah, so I think that story kind of probably hit some of your points.
Yes, just to think that teenagers could do that for themselves
Yeah.
and also employ other teenagers. That's a very empowering testimony and story that you share with us. And I just love the confidence building in that, right?
Yeah.
For teenagers to feel inspired enough to say, "Well, our idea, people need this idea.
Mhm.
People want this idea, and it can help change our community, our world, and also put some money into our pockets." So
Yeah.
I think that's really cool, and it's kind of like that first seed of independence, right?
Right,
I
right.
think a lot of people, when it comes to that first side hustle, it kind of breaks them out of that shell,
Mhm.
so to speak. So to have an idea, to do something with that idea, to make it happen. Again, love that confidence point and love that it's kind of that first seed of independence for a teenager that if you have an idea, if you have something, just do it, right? I know it
Yeah.
may seem like it's easier said than done, but trust and believe when it comes to teenagers having an idea, Facebook was an idea,
Right.
right? And it was called the Facebook back in the day, where it was just an idea. It was just, you could say it was a side hustle, but now we all know what that is, right? Right?
Yeah.
It's more than a side hustle. It is a very, very successful business, but it started with teenagers and it started with an idea.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's we were talking a couple episodes back about allowance, right? And I
Mhm.
think with a side hustle, it's such a different feeling than your allowance. Cuz even though you do chores to earn it, but this is something that you probably as a side hustle have chosen that you want to do and that you're going to earn it. So it just feels different. So I think that's another a good point of why these things matter, right?
Yes, yes. And talking about it feeling different, I want us to jump into some popular teen side hustles.
Mhm.
Some of these we've kind of already talked about. You babysat back in the day. We want to just let teens know what's essentially realistic to you and see if any ideas come of them. So, again, you can babysit or tutor younger students for those who may be gifted in a certain subject. We talk about mowing lawns, right?
Yeah.
You can also sit pets. A lot of people have pets. I know
Mhm.
that we recently celebrated National Dog Day. So it's
Yeah.
one of those things that you can do that, or even wash cars. People are still in the business of getting their cars detailed. So that's something that you could do. Resell clothes and shoes online,
Mhm.
content creation,
Sure.
especially with parent guidance. This is something that you could do. There's so many influencers out there for all of the things.
Yes.
That is something that could become a side hustle for you. And perhaps if you're gifted in that area, helping small businesses with their social media.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like it is crazy. Everything is social media these days. Every single business, every single company, organization should have a social media presence.
Right.
Now, do you have a social media presence that is booming, that is interactive? A lot of companies, that answer would be no, unfortunately.
Mhm.
But if you are a younger person who understands the social media game, you get it. It's like another your second language. You're in high demand,
Yeah.
right? There are a lot of companies that need to scrub their social media respectfully so it can become a more attractive, so it can bring in business. And for the most part, you're probably that young person that can put them on game and really help them out.
Yeah. The iPad generation.
Yeah, yeah, like you guys get it and you get it
Yeah.
more than anyone. So we encourage you, if any of those ideas make sense to you, if any of those ideas may come natural, those could be side hustles for you that can make you more responsible and also make you more money.
Yeah, I'll just jump in with another one that I didn't think about, but I just learned recently from the nibblings. So, my sister is a very creative person. She has a side hustle. She does face painting. She's very talented in art, and a lot of her kids have inherited that. But my eldest niece is learning how to do balloon animals. So
Wow.
she's doing like the twisting. So she's gonna start going with her mom whenever her mom has a gig, and she's gonna do that. So they're kind of like a combo. And I just thought that was really cool because I think she does get like something hourly, but it's mostly based off of the tips. And I think
Mhm.
it's a great way for her to kind of express her creativity and start to earn some of her own money. So,
I love it. I love it. Again, creativity is huge when it comes to those side hustles. Here is the key: you should start with something that you're good at and that you enjoy. Because when it comes to passion, you want to make sure that it's sustainable.
right.
If it's something that you are only, may only care about or think about occasionally, that may not work for a
Yeah.
side hustle. We're talking about those things that again are you're really good at, you're passionate about, and you have fun. So I'm pretty sure with the whole balloon thing, she enjoys that, right?
Mhm.
Right. Her mom is into it. So that could just be one example. If you are thinking about this whole side hustle thing, we want you to be good at it, have some fun with it so you can make it sustainable in your life.
The Financial Seeds podcast is powered by Silver State Schools Credit Union. At Silver State Schools Credit Union, our focus is to provide excellent member service and financial solutions for life. Now is the perfect time to lock in lower payments and more savings with SSSCU's new even lower vehicle loan rates, now starting at just 4.99% annual percentage rate. That's 4.99% APR, available for both purchases and refinancing. Members can drive more and pay less with SSSCU's new lower rate of 4.99% APR. Visit silverstatecu.com/drive to learn more and experience why Silver State Schools Credit Union is banking done better. Silver State Schools Credit Union finances up to 100% of MSRP for new vehicles or the Kelley Blue Book retail value for used vehicles. Additional terms and conditions to qualify. May not be combined with other offers. Rates, terms, and conditions are subject to change without notice. Must be a member to apply. Visit silverstatecu.com for more details.
All right, let's talk about the financial literacy aspect when it comes to managing money from a side hustle. So, a side hustle gives us that chance to practice money management. And when it comes to these teams, here are some things that you can learn how to do with that side hustle money.
Mhm.
So, splitting income. In previous episodes, we've talked about saving,
Right.
spending, and giving. So, even if you're not making a crazy amount of money with your side hustle money, it still can teach you these things.
Sure.
Like, we're all about educating you on how to manage the money you have now. So, as you grow older, you know how to manage the big bucks, so to
Yeah.
speak, right? When you have that career, when you are on your own, managing that side hustle money is such a game changer of understanding that, oh wow, I have money. Now what's the next step? What
Yeah.
should I do? So we really want you to take advantage of splitting your income. Save some, spend some, and also give some. Another thing could be just tracking your earnings and expenses. You could do this by, doing it an old school way. I know on previous podcasts we talked about Excel spreadsheets.
Yes.
If you want to get fancy, or you could just simply use a notebook. That's another thing, or apps out there.
Mhm.
Uh, there's no right way or wrong way. Whatever works for you works for you. So we just want you to kind of get into the habit of understanding what you're earning as well as some expenses when you
Sure.
maybe reinvest. And if you're that car washing business, you have to buy soap and
Sure.
buckets and all of these things. We just want you to understand the difference between the two so you know and you keep your books clean, so to speak. And lastly, setting goals. We want you to have a goal as you jump into your side hustle. Maybe it's a technology goal. You need a new computer. Maybe you need a new phone. Maybe you're saving for college, and this is that financial vehicle that's going to help you get there. Establish a goal early so you can use that as motivation to keep that energy, keep that the juices flowing, keep those vibes high when it comes to your side hustle. Because just like any job, there are going to be good days and there are going to be some bad
Yeah.
days. You're human, you have feelings and emotion, life happens, but we want you to still be excited about that side hustle.
Right.
So by setting that goal, it can give you that motivation that you need to kind of push through this thing as life happens to you.
Mhm. Yeah, and I think to go back to a point that we've talked about many times on the pod now, but that money mindset, you've already mentioned it, but being able to really look at what you're coming in and you deciding where your money's going, you being in control and not the opposite, which, happens a lot, especially with teens the first time they get a taste of their first paycheck, like we mentioned with Dr. King.
Yes.
So yeah, I love that point. And also, I just wanted to say, don't forget, in case you make over a certain amount, you might need some help with taxes.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
parents might need to help you kind of figure out how to report that. So
Oh yeah. So again, just be aware of those things. I know making money may be new to you, but we definitely want you to be aware of those so you make the right moves with your side hustle. So now we've come to the point of the episode where we want to drop our seeds of wisdom. And for this week's seeds of wisdom, a side hustle isn't just about money, it's about mindset. Bree just kind of covered how that money mindset should go as you start making money. So for you guys as teens, it's less about how much money you're making and more about those habits, that confidence, and the skills that you are building along the way. Because at the end of the day, what you're building now can carry over for generations, can carry over for a lifetime. So we truly want you to focus in on those habits, those characteristics. Those are things that, again, can carry on with you for the rest of your life. The money that you're kind of making right now, it'll eventually will go away. It will be spent on whatever it'll be spent on. And that's all good. The thing that you can take away to the next grade, to the next year, to the next decade are those habits that you're creating right now. Becoming a good person, taking care of others when it comes to being considerate. Those kind of things happen when you have a side hustle, when you have a good or service that is all about people, right? Without the people, you're not making any money, right? So you want to just make sure that you are just taking advantage of being in front of people, providing that product or service, and truly caring about their needs, their wants. So you become that better person, that better leader, that better friend, brother, or sister,
yeah,
a better child, right? A better student. All of these things, it may not seem like it matters now, but that side hustle is helping you build that holistic person that we talk about here on the podcast.
yeah, yeah. So let's just kind of recap today's episode. So we had some big points here, but side hustles teach responsibility, creativity, and financial skills. Teens should start with what they enjoy, what they're passionate about, and what's realistic. Money from side hustles should be split into save, spend, and give. And then parents can help guide with things like safety, taxes, and structure.
Thank you, Bree, for that recap. Again, we're almost halfway through season one. Like,
Wow.
it's crazy. We are continuing to do this thing. We love being just a voice when it comes to families for financial wellness, financial literacy. We truly want you to be free. And we hope that this episode 8, all about side hustles for teens, gets you closer to that teen being independent, being just ready for that next step of life. And we're hoping that whatever side hustle you do choose gets you closer to financial independence and freedom. So, for everybody who is listening and watching, we hope that you like, comment, and subscribe to all of our platforms. We truly need your support and would love it. So, again, like, comment, share, subscribe right now to our YouTube page. If you are on social media, we want you to follow us on our social media platforms, as well as share this episode with everyone. So if you're listening on Apple, you're listening on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music, whatever it is, please share this episode with everyone that you know, especially for those parents who have teenagers who are excited about not just money, but independence. They want to start something. Listen to this episode, watch this episode, and share it with everyone you know. So for myself, JimDre, And Bree, we are very excited again to be here as the host of the Financial Seeds podcast. We want you to continue to keep planting those seeds and watching your family grow. And we're going to see you next week.
The Financial Seeds podcast is powered by Silver State Schools Credit Union. Hosted by JimDre Westbrook, co-hosted by Brianna Chavez, produced by Leandre Fox, and created in the Scott A.R. Kills production studio. The Financial Seeds podcast is for informational and educational purposes only and is not intended as financial, legal, or tax advice. All opinions expressed are those of the hosts and guests and do not necessarily reflect the views of Silver State Schools Credit Union. Listeners should consult with a qualified financial professional for advice specific to their individual situation.